Hi students, today we are going to discuss about phasors. Any electrical quantity can be represented by using a phasor. There exists a voltage phasor, current phasor, etc. So the phasors are a vector which can be represented by mathematically by using the following forms. First one is the rectangular form, second is the trigonometric form, and third one is the exponential form, and fourth one is the polar form. By representing the phasor in this form, we are using one J operator. The J is used to express the operation of counterclockwise rotation of a vector through 90 degree. And if the operation is done twice, then the vector is rotated counterclockwise direction at 180 degree. That is, one revolution gives us 90 degree, and if the operation done twice, then this phasor or vector which rotates in 180 degree and its sign is get reversed, that is, it multiplied by -1, that is j into j, which gives us j square, and its value is equal to -1. And from this we get the value of j by taking the square root of this -1, that is j is equal to square root of -1. That is the J operator. And the first method of representing the phasor is by using the rectangular form. In rectangular form, we know any vector which can be resolved into two components. Here it shows that a vector v1, and it is resolved into two components, one component along x-axis and another component is along the y-axis. The component which is along the x-axis is x1, and the component which is along the y-axis is taken as y1. So the value of vector v1 is equal to x1 plus j y1. And here x1 is the real component and y1 is the imaginary component. So the numerical value of this vector v1 is equal to square root of x1 square plus y1 square. That is the numerical value of this vector v1. And the angle which makes with this x-axis can be found out by taking this relation, that is tan inverse y1 divided by x1, which gives us the value of angle which occurs between this v1 and the x-axis. And the second method is that the trigonometric form. Here also the vector v can be resolved into two components, one is along x-axis and another is along y-axis. The value which lies along the x-axis can be taken as v cos theta, and the value which exists along the y-axis can be taken as v sin theta. And from these values we get the value of this vector, that is v is equal to v into cos theta plus j sin theta. Here theta is the angle which lies between this vector v and the x-axis. And the third method is the exponential form method, and we know by Euler's equation e raised to plus or minus j theta is equal to cos theta plus or minus j sin theta. From this relation we get the value of e raised to plus j theta is equal to cos theta plus j sin theta, and e raised to minus j theta is equal to cos theta minus j sin theta. Depending upon the sign of this j theta, we can change the polarity. Here it is e raised to plus j theta, and here it is plus sign, and when it becomes minus j theta, here it is negative sign. Hence the vector v may be represented like vector v is equal to v into e raised to plus j theta. And the third one is the polar form. In trigonometric form, we represent the vector by using this formula, that is vector v is equal to v into cos theta plus j sin theta. And this vector makes an angle theta with respect to x-axis and has a magnitude of v. So it can be written like in polar form, we are simply writing a quantity by using a magnitude and its corresponding phase angle. So here the magnitude of vector can be taken as v, and the angle is theta. So we can represent the value like v angle theta, where theta taken in counterclockwise direction. Similarly, v cos theta minus j sin theta. When the equation becomes v into cos theta minus j sin theta, then the value of this vector in polar form is written like v angle minus theta. Here it is plus sign, so we can write the phasor like v angle v angle theta, and here the sign is negative, so we can write this like v angle minus theta. Next is the operation by using this phasors. So the operation which we can done by using this phasors are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And first section is the adding and subtracting of two phasors. For the addition and subtraction of two phasors, we are using the rectangular form representation. So for adding two vectors, that vectors or that phasors should be in the form of rectangular. So consider two phasors. Phasor A is equal to A1 plus JA2 and phasor B is equal to B1 plus JB2. From this expression, we know that this is the real part of this phasor and this is the imaginary part of this phasor. And here also this is the real part and the second one is the imaginary part. And in the case of addition, we are simply adding these two phasors, that is A plus B, phasor A plus B, that is equal to, we should add the real parts first, that is A1 plus B1 plus J into A2 plus B2. So this will give us the sum of these two phasors. Next is to find out the difference between these two phasors. The phasors are A minus B, that is equal to, we should minus or we should subtract the real parts of this phasors first. So A1 minus B1 plus J into A2 minus B2. So we get the difference between these two phasors. And next operation is multiplication and division. So for performing the multiplication and division of two phasors, the phasors should be in the form of polar. So for doing the multiplication and division, polar form is used. In the case of polar form, the quantity which contains a magnitude and a corresponding phase angle, that is the quantity should be, or the phasor should be in the form of A angle theta. But in the case of rectangular form, the quantity should be in the form of A plus JB. So here for doing the multiplication, the quantity should be, or the phasor should be in the polar form. And here consider two phasors. Phasor A is equal to A angle theta 1 and phasor B is equal to B angle theta 2. Then we have to find out A into B or A cross B, that is equal to, we should multiply the real parts or the magnitudes first, that is AB, and then we should add the phase angle sections theta 1 and theta 2, that is angle theta 1 plus theta 2. So for performing the multiplication, we should multiply the magnitudes first and then we should add the corresponding phase angles. In the case of division, here we are going to do the division, that is A by B, that is equal to, we should divide the magnitude first, that is A divided by B, and then we should take or find the difference between these two phase angles, theta 1 minus theta 2. So or in other way, there are two phasors P and Q exist for a system, and the phasor P represents the value R1 angle theta 1 and phasor Q represents R2 angle theta 2. For taking the division of this two phasors, we should divide the real parts or the magnitude of this phasors first, that is R1 divided by R2, magnitude of R1 divided by R2. Then we should minus these two phase angles, that is theta 1 minus theta 2. It will give us the division operation. Next is the power and power factor in AC circuits. There exists a phase difference between voltage and current in an AC circuit. So in the case of a DC circuit, we can easily find out the power of a DC circuit by simply multiplying the voltage and current. That is, we know the power is equal to V into I in the case of a DC circuit. But coming to the case of an AC circuit, there should always exist a phase difference between the voltage and current. We know the instantaneous value of voltage in the case of an AC circuit is V of t is equal to Vm sin omega t, and the instantaneous value of current is I of t is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. Here the current, this means that here the value, here it is Vm sin omega t only, and here it is sin omega t minus phi. This minus phi means here the current is lagging behind the voltage by an angle phi. If this is plus phi, then we can say that the current is leading the voltage by an angle phi. But in the case of this equation, this is minus phi. It means that the current is lagging behind the voltage by an angle this phi. So the instantaneous power is obtained by multiplying the instantaneous values of voltage and current. So P is equal to V into I. That is, the value of V is Vm sin omega t and the value of I is Im sin omega t minus phi. So we can get this equation like Vm Im sin omega t into sin omega t minus phi. That is Vm Im, the sin omega t can be written like cos phi minus cos 2 omega t minus phi all divided by 2. We can take this 2 in this side, that is Vm Im divided by 2 into cos phi minus this Vm Im is common to these two terms, so we can expand this equation like Vm Im divided by 2 into cos phi minus Vm Im divided by 2 into cos 2 omega t minus phi. So the average power is obtained by the integration over a complete cycle of the wave. The average of the second term over a complete cycle is 0, whereas the first term gives us an average power P. So when while we integrating the second term over a complete cycle, we get this value is equal to 0. So the average power of an AC circuit should be equal to Vm Im divided by 2 into cos phi. That is, power is equal to Vm Im divided by 2 into cos phi. That is, from this we can write this 2 like Vm divided by root 2 into Im divided by root 2. That is, 2 can be written like root 2 into root 2. So we can write this equation like Vm divided by root 2 into Im divided by root 2 into cos phi. We know this Vm divided by root 2 will gives us the value of RMS, value of voltage, that is Vrms. And the second one is we get from this IRMS and cos phi. If the angle by which the current lags behind the voltage becomes, that is phi, becomes 0, then the power P is equal to this cos phi. Phi is 0, then cos phi is equal to cos 0. We know the value of cos 0 is 1. So the average power of an AC circuit will becomes Vrms into IRMS, or simply we can write it like P is equal to V into I. So the term cos phi is called the power factor, and which is decided by the nature of the load which is connected to the supply. For a pure resistive load, this angle is 0 and the power factor will be unity. And if the load is purely inductive or purely capacitive, this angle will be 90 degree and the power factor will be 0.